is a moment that happens to a lot of people when they stop working. Not straight away, but a few months in. You've got time, it's just something feels flat. You're not tired, you're not depressed, you're just understimulated. And if you're really honest, somewhere inside you, you're thinking, is this what the rest of my life is supposed to feel like? A lot of people try to fix that feeling with more comfort, more routine, and more distractions. But what actually wakes you up again is not comfort, it's aliveness. And this is the old idea of pilgrimage, which isn't a holiday, it isn't escapism, it's about meeting yourself where you are. It's about stepping into the unknown, less organized, less certainty, more awake. When you don't know exactly what's coming, your senses come back online. I watched an interview this morning about an incredible woman called Peace Pilgrim. And this lady in 1953 left her house and just walked. She didn't walk for fitness, she didn't walk for fame, she walked for peace. She only had her clothes and she had a comb in her pocket, a folding toothbrush, a ballpoint pen and her letters. A really remarkable story about this lady, when she stepped into her mission, stepped into the unknown, and she had retired. She wouldn't accept donations, she would accept food from people. And she went around with Peace Pilgrim written on her tunic so that people could identify her easily, and just had the most incredible stories to tell about stepping into your mission, stepping into your intention. And what I really like about her message for peace is it goes from, of course, disarmament and resolution of conflicts, but it talks a lot about inner peace and how we really resist giving up our negative self-talk, how we really resist giving up worrying. And she says inner peace isn't about comfort, it's not about not having problems, it's about giving. Feeling of being uplifted comes from this. And the Peace Pilgrim, she shares about how important it really is to know what we want and to reconnect to what brings us joy in our life. And I think this is exactly what's missing for a lot of people that when they retire. They stop going to work and they stop asking themselves really what they want, and they become a bit fearful of other people, and nothing ever happened to the Peace Pilgrim in all of these 26 years of walking around. When I was 21, I went on my own kind of pilgrimage. I left the UK, and I was just going to a juggling convention, and in the airplane, I decided I couldn't come back. So I cancelled my ticket when I landed, and I was supposed to be back after 2 weeks, and I came back after 4 months, and I had no money, and I juggled for things to eat, and I met really kind people and goodness, and it was probably the most alive moment of my entire life, and it stayed with me ever since. And so I know the power of pilgrimage after a strong life transition. And of course, a pilgrimage looks different when we're 21 than when we're 50 or when we're 60. But there's always an element of danger and an element of faith about going on a pilgrimage, and the trust in other people and other humanities. And that journey really helped me shift from an idea of material growth to inner wealth. Life is often pretty linear. School, work, responsibilities, retirement, and then we know where it goes. And this is what I would call a safe life, which is comfortable, predictable, busy, and flat. But if we were to go off on a pilgrimage in retirement, then it would look like a very different thing, and we'd end up in what I would call here an awake life, where we embrace curiosity, we're playful, we're alive, and it's meaningful. And sometimes we just have to walk off the well-trodden path to find our own one. And if you're not feeling alive right now, perhaps it's not because you're broken. Perhaps it's just because you're underused, and taking a few days off, a few weeks off to find yourself again. Perhaps what you're longing for isn't more comfort. Perhaps it's more contact with life. I've been putting together this workshop, which is actually a virtual armchair pilgrimage, to sort of like start to play with the idea of going on a pilgrimage. What might that look like? What are your reasons for not going? What might you find? And if you're interested, there's a link in the description to join me for one of these free workshop sessions coming up. And if you really want to meet somebody who walks this path, then check out this video there and learn more about Peace Pilgrim.